There's a new type of save that has been rocking the FM community this year, where you don't train the team, you don't motivate the team, you don't choose the team, and you don't even specify the tactics. Today, I'm going to show you how to play as the director of football. Now trust me, my excellent friends, this type of save is an incredible FM experience. To just concentrate on the transfers, the staff, setting the culture, the ethos, the DNA of a club. What are you waiting for? Let's get stuck in. Step 1 is very simple. Select your profile as normal. I would recommend, though, making sure that you have some incredibly high mental attributes. You need to be determined, you need high player knowledge and youngster knowledge, and I'd recommend some fairly reasonable people management just to make sure that you don't get your players coming to you with every little bit of trouble that you won't be able to solve for them. Then choose your team as normal. You may want to choose a team that is currently going through some cultural change, that is seeking a new director of football. So I'm picking Leeds, and there we are into the game as normal. You will see that we do currently have a director of football in place. So the next step, before anything else, before you even look at the vision, the expectations, or your squad, is to fire your director of football. Now, if you were using the in-game editor, you could simply remove them from the position. That would obviously save you some money, but I try not to do that because I don't like to be tempted to play around with potential managers. More on that in a moment. So quite simply, mutual termination, farewell director of football, say hello to the new director of football. That would be me. Next up, go to your staff screen and make sure that you give up all the responsibilities that you want your assistant manager to take on, because they will be your head coach from this point on. Delegate all your team selections, but take control of all of the staff recruitment, because you're going to be building a dynasty. Make sure you choose which of your staff members are going on coaching courses. You're responsible for their development now. And on every one of these steps, make sure you hit confirm. The amount of times I've forgotten, very frustrating. You will take responsibility for all contract negotiation and contract renewals. You will take full responsibility of the scouting team, full control of all transfers, and then the stuff that you won't go near. I mean, who ever heard of a director of football undertaking a press conference? Delegate all of that for sure. Training? Delegate. Tactics? Delegate. And everything on match day? Delegate that stuff too. Except for who takes control of friendly matches, and I will show you why momentarily. Up next is the single most important decision for any director of football save. You need to take a very good look at your assistant manager. Now remember, for all intents and purposes, you are looking for this staff member to be a manager. They need a high level of discipline, they need to be a good motivator, good people management, and judging player ability and potential. Ideally, excellent tactical knowledge and the ability to work with youngsters as well. Aside from those attributes, you need to be looking at what tactical style they will be implementing, because you will not get involved on match days. The way the team plays is nothing to do with you. These considerations are crucial, as is the style of play. It will all determine how your team is going to play on the pitch and the type of players you need to recruit for your manager. So here is how I scour the globe for the best assistant manager I can possibly find. You're looking for someone who wants that role, and you're looking for these managerial attributes. I recommend a simple filter where you can see the tactical style, the preferred formations, the mentality, and the attributes of each of these potential candidates. And my eye is immediately being drawn to Leeds legend Gary McAllister. He would play a 4-2-3-1, switching to a 5 at the back in moments of pressure, potentially going for a narrow diamond. He's very tactically flexible, but plays a fluid counter-attacking style. He is my man. Up next, you need to give your assistant manager a little bit of a helping hand. This is as close as you will get to any tactical influence whatsoever. Now, this is one of the major workarounds. FM requires you to have a match tactics save. So quite simply, choose your assistant manager's favourite formation. We know that Gary McAllister likes a fluid counter-attack. We know that he likes to play a 4-2-3-1. Job done. That's it. Next up, another one of those little workarounds to play as a DOF. Make sure you join staff meetings and just do whatever the staff tell you to. That way you're supporting your assistant manager's decisions to send players on language courses, potentially looking into signing some of the staff that they recommend. But don't under any circumstances, hire another director of football. That is your job. Having another one is cheating. So here we go. Gary McAllister is now on the verge of joining. We will agree mutual termination with our current assistant manager, and that means Gary McAllister is in the door. Now we have approached our first match day, and this is where you place total faith in your assistant manager by going on holiday. Now you can work right up to kick-off time when you're getting reports of those fitness tests, but do not progress any further. If you have an instant result option, it is not the same as taking a holiday, because using an instant result will use the formation and the tactical style that you have chosen rather than the assistant manager's personal preference. And you can see there we holiday forward to midnight of the following day, and we can look back on Gary McAllister's debut in the dugout, a 3-1 victory against Hamilton. You can see the team he picked, the formation he lined up with, everything else, including watching the highlights if you want. But that's not the only way to find out a result as director of football. Oh, no. It is also possible to watch a match live, kind of. And all that requires is for you to add a second playable manager. You want that manager to start unemployed. Their stats do not matter in the slightest. Send them on holiday indefinitely. Then when you reach kickoff time for that match that you want to watch, simply change your manager to your unemployed doppelganger and attend the match in question. Then return to your actual playable director of football and, as always, nip off on holiday for a day. And as you continue, that will then take you into the match in question. Your doppelganger in the stands watching your own team live with absolutely no way to influence any of the play on the pitch whatsoever. You will, however, be able to see all of the reports that you would normally have access to during the game, and hopefully along the way, you'll see a few goals in the process. When the match is concluded, simply send your doppelganger away on holiday again indefinitely, and rinse and repeat that process as many times as you like to watch your glorious squad performing to the highest standards for your exceptional assistant manager. It's also possible to do a slightly deeper dive into how your team lined up by looking in their reports section and the form tab. You can see here that Tyler Adams played as a right wing back, Mark Rocker was a defensive midfielder, Brendan Aronson a shadow striker, and that last one shows just what happens when you put faith in your assistant manager, leave Gary McAllister to his own devices, and he will play his own way. And another wonderful workaround. Now that you have no director of football, when you ask for transfer targets, it defaults to your assistant manager, so you can ask Gary, who would you recommend we sign as a central defender? And he will give you 3 options. You can build the squad that he wants to play. Now, I have been loving playing as director of football in FM23. I am 7 seasons into my own save over on my channel, Games Tell Stories. Please do check it out. We've just got Everton into the Champions League, and I've got a few hints and tips for you along the way beyond just how to set up the game. Think of them as things I wish I had known when starting a director of football save. Do not make promises of any kind. No promises ever, because they are not in your control. Trust me, I nearly destroyed my dressing room by making that mistake. Don't do it yourself. Secondly, do everything you possibly can to boost morale. This is the only area you can influence when playing properly as a director of football, so praise training as much as you possibly can. Praise players for good performance. Basically take every opportunity to step in and thank the team for a job well done. Third, mentoring, just give that to your assistant manager. Ask them to set up the mentoring groups and just go with it. Fourth, do not holiday all the way through the season. It can be very tempting when you've only got transfer windows to operate in to just try to get all the way to the next one when the fun stuff happens. But don't, because that's a surefire way to crush your morale, end up with players who want to leave because they haven't had enough game time and you have had no opportunity to influence things in any way, shape or form. A massive thank you to the manager's seat for having me along today. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome FM content, and I will be back soon with another video where I explore tiny tweaks that could be made in Football Manager 24 to create an even more immersive and even more awesome experience as the director of football. Thank you very much for watching. Be excellent to each other, and we'll see you soon.